The second part of Turn to the Lord is a guide for you to teach and form others who are preparing for the sacraments of initiation or deepening their discipleship. Part 2 is called Reflection and Practice. It is about me sharing with you how I have taught this immersion into the Catholic faith to those involved in faith formation. My primary group was a group of young people preparing for confirmation. Alongside other parents, we created a Catholic formation group that met regularly in a home and in which our young people read scripture, learned doctrine, prayed together, ate together, shared in meaningful conversations, and developed the basic habits of mature Catholic discipleship. This approach is flexible, but it certainly requires buy-in. No good faith formation ever takes place without the commitment and personal investment of a team of leaders. The leaders for this approach to faith formation are primarily parents and mentors, godparents and sponsors. This is not at all meant to replace the parish. To the contrary, this empowers the parish to do what the parish is meant to do: empower the faithful to take responsibility for the mission of evangelization. This approach also works well in schools, where it can be adapted for classroom use and then supplemented by out-of-school gatherings. Especially as we have all had to learn how to be flexible and resilient in approaches to education and formation, the approach that Turn to the Lord presents has built-in flexibility and resiliency. As we build up a community of formators, we become less reliant on the drop-off and pick-up programs. We become capable of adapting to smaller gatherings, of having parents not scurry in an emergency to try to pinch hit, but rather prepare parents all along to join in the leadership of their young people's formation. You will find a basic, repeatable pattern in Part 2. Each of Part 2's 25 chapters correspond to each of the 25 chapters in Part 1. What Part 2 does is guide you in how to teach and form others along the lines of what we have learned together in Part 1. Each chapter in Part 2 presents a template for a single gathering of a Catholic formation group. Maybe an hour, maybe 90 minutes. Each gathering begins with prayer, journaling, and substantive conversation, possibly over a meal. At times, these sessions include faith testimonies, first from parents or sponsors or godparents, and later from those who are preparing for the sacraments of initiation. The session continues with a lesson, which itself often takes place through conversation and regularly happens through reading Scripture and learning how to read Scripture better. Sessions always close as they begin, in prayer. Part 2 is user-friendly. It is not a textbook. We do not try to replace you because you and your leadership are crucial to the formation of others. Instead, Part 2 equips you to actually teach, witness to, and mentor those who are preparing for full initiation in the Catholic Church. This requires something different than just providing resources for you to pass on. It requires a resource to inform and empower you yourself, so that you become the resource for your students. This entire approach is built on an investment in you. And Part 2 offers guidance to enable you to teach and form and witness well.